um, the medical device and pharmaceutical. So let's welcome our first trainer for tonight that she was talking about the executive bonus plan. Okay, so let's put our hands together. Welcome tonight's first trainer, Regina.
Hi, Mina. Thank you so much. So awesome to be here this evening. Good evening, WSB. In Canada and the US, it's my pleasure to have the opportunity to be our first trainer for tonight. And like Mina said, I've been in the business in this campaign for the last 16 and a half years. But honestly, I feel like I'm just starting the business. And it's a great time to be in the business now. So just want to give a quick shout out to Katie Financial Center. It actually feels very weird, guys, for me to be in my office doing the training tonight, but because of sound purposes and things, we want to make sure we have a clean training. So shout out to Katie and to my team also in the Greens Point location as well. I'm going to get started here and share my content for tonight. So, tonight I will be talking about executive bonus plans. Mina, can you give me a hands up? Let me know you can see everything okay? Perfect. All right, executive bonus plans, guys, this is a strategy that you could actually use to talk to business owners. So I'm going to talk about some different reasons why this is a great strategy to use and some of the benefits that, executive bonus plans have for businesses as well as for employees. So a great topic to be able to learn about tonight. If you realize that a lot of businesses struggle these days with retaining employees, especially retaining key employees, and people that, really benefit the operation of the business. So, with that being one of the challenges some businesses are facing, it's this type of program is a great a strategy to be able to use to help for these specific reasons, right? Businesses often struggle to retain top employees. Replacing key employees can be very expensive. Imagine if you keep having to train over and over again, people to learn the business. Employers want benefits that encourage long-term loyalty. That's another thing that this strategy really helps people with. And then competition for high performers is increasing. So it's a very competitive market out there. And then cash bonuses, when you get cash bonuses, they're often short-lived. I remember being in the pharmaceutical industry for years. I would get a bonus every year. But that bonus sometimes was gone before I even got it. And so looking at a strategy that has the potential to have long-term effects for employees is a great reason why an executive bonus plan can work for some businesses. So exactly what is an executive bonus plan? It's a compensation strategy where businesses can give a bonus to key employees who can use those funds to purchase and own life insurance policies. Okay. So that's exactly what an executive bonus plan is. So it's really just a strategy. It's a compensation strategy. So it's another way that businesses can compensate their employees. But what benefit does that have for the business? Well, for the business owners, it allows them to reward high performers. So those who are achieving goals, those who, bring profits into the business, those who have been in the business, supporting the business for years. It gives them a chance to be able to reward them additionally outside of just their compensation for doing their job. Also, it helps them to retain top talent. It helps people to be able to businesses to keep those people in house instead of them, looking for other opportunities. Another really key benefit is flexible participation. So businesses can choose who they decide to give this bonus to. And then it's also relatively simple to implement. So those are some of the benefits that an executive bonus plan can have for the business. But then what does it have for the employee? Why is it a benefit for the employee? For one, it's life insurance protection. And so, most employees might have a group, life insurance plan with their job, but a lot of times that plan is not portable. They don't leave with it. And so this is now a life insurance plan that they own. And they also have the ability to direct who they want their beneficiaries to be. Of course, it's a cash value life insurance policy that we use to be able to fund these types of, plans, these strategies. So the potential cash value accumulation, growing tax deferred, and then being able to have access to that cash value as well through some of the tax advantage strategies, the withdrawals and loans. Possible supplemental income. So, as we get older, our retirement income sometimes starts to diminish. So here's a great way for, you to be increasing that income even in your retirement years. And then for long-term financial planning, we talk about in our Saving Your Future book, and also in our presentation, we talk about the fact that we're living longer, these days. And so one of the things that we want to protect ourselves from is outliving our income. So having a long-term financial strategy is also important. So what are some things to consider when planning an executive bonus plan? One, the bonus is taxable income to the employee. So you have to understand that that income is taxable income for the employee. The employer may deduct bonus as compensation as well. And then you also want to make sure that the policy is designed properly. Okay. And so those are the things that you want to, consider when offering or looking at an executive bonus plan. So how does it actually work? The employer is going to provide a bonus. The bonus will get paid to the key employee. The employee funds the life insurance policy with that bonus money, and then the employee and the family receive those benefits. So, this is in a nutshell just the flow of which the employee gets the bonus and he uses that bonus to fund the life insurance policy. And we all know how beneficial, those life insurance policies are, whether is if the employee dies prematurely, or for the living benefits that also can come with some of those plans as well. So why does a permanent life insurance policy work in this strategy? Here are some of the advantages that permanent life insurance has. One, lifelong protection. Like we said, if we're living longer, we need to make sure that our protection is, living with us, that we are properly protected all the way through our life. We don't want to get to the most critical stage in life and lose our protections. That's when we need it the most. And so this policy will provide that lifelong protection for the employee and for the employee's family. Potential cash value accumulation. So again, another place for the employee to be able to grow cash and have some tax benefits, another bucket, if you will, for them to be able to have some tax benefits through the cash accumulation in their policy. The possible tax advantages to access to the policy value. Also, not just the possible tax advantages, but also having the advantage to, utilize that for different reasons if they needed to, without some of the age restrictions that they have in other vehicles that they might be funding. So it can support retirement income strategies. So as again, you're in retirement, you want to make sure that you don't outlive your income. Your money can still be growing into your cash value, and then it can help to, support your retirement income. And then also the long-term care benefits, depending on how the policy is designed, if it has living benefits, long-term care benefits as well, then they have access to those benefits as needed. So here is just an example, if you will, of how this works. And I just want to give this quick disclaimer. Anytime that you're talking about executive bonus plans, we are not tax consultants and we do not give tax advice to people. So A lot of times, if you're doing these plans, you also might be talking to the business owner, but you might be also bringing in the CPA in as well, because they're really the ones that will design some of the back end stuff that happens with the executive bonus plan. So here's a way that it works. So let's say you have a business, and that business is going to reward a key employee. So as you can see here, the employee is the owner, the insured, and then the spouse or whoever the family member is will be the beneficiary of that particular policy. Now, the the business is also going to have to withhold taxes from that bonus that they pay out to the employee. So, of course, they will withhold federal, social, and then Medicare as well. Oh, sorry. So if you look at the premium, when the business owner pays the bonus out, they will minus the tax withholdings from the bonus, and then what's left will be what will pay the actual premium into the life insurance policy. So in this case, the business is going to pay a check to Nationwide. If we were using Nationwide in this particular example, we do have several companies that you could do executive bonus plans with. But if we're using Nationwide or whatever company that is, that premium will be paid from the business to the company. Okay. And then the $15,000 bonus in this case is also deductible for the business. So that's pretty much the flow in how the executive bonus will work. So a key takeaway is the executive bonus plan provides businesses with a powerful way to reward important employees while helping them to also build long-term financial protection. So again, you're rewarding employees for the benefit of them staying with your company and being with you on a long-term basis. So who would you want to target when it comes to, offering an executive bonus? What companies? Where would you want to go? You want to look for businesses that have at least 5 to 200 employees. They rely very heavily on a key person, or key people within that particular company. They want to retain high performers. So people that want to be able to retain, people that are performing well for the company, you want to, be able to target them. And then those companies that already offer bonuses and incentives to their employees, if they're already offering those bonuses and incentives, this is just another way for them to be able to have a different product that can incentivize their employees as well. So they may not, most business owners don't even know that this product exists. So just the sheer fact of mentioning it as an option, will probably open up their ears for them to want to hear you, and also want to know more about how this program can benefit their business. So who are some potential places, some potential businesses you want to target? You can look into professional services, engineering and technology companies. Medical practices are also good places to be able to target these types of plans. Manufacturing, and then sales organizations. Those are also good places. I mean, honestly, guys, it can be, any business owner you can open up this conversation with. And one of the great things about offering these types of benefits is, if you can get in the door with one business owner to talk to them and they can see this benefit, they will refer you to other business owners. And so you want to make sure that you understand, and you want to make sure that you know how this structure can work. And if you're not familiar with it, bring a trainer along with you. Bring someone that can be able to speak the language and help you in that appointment. So here's some conversation starters that you can have. Anybody can talk to a business owner about or ask these specific questions. So one question is, who are your 2 to 3 employees you could not afford to lose, in your business? Another one, what are you doing to retain them long term? And I tell you, when you ask these questions, most business owners probably will look at you like they don't know how to answer. They won't be able to, answer you, but it piques an interest for them. Okay. Have you considered turning bonuses into long-term benefits? I love that one. So if you're already given a bonus, have you considered using those bonuses and turning them into long-term benefits for your employees? Again, these are conversation starters. This is a way to get the door open for you to get an appointment and to talk more specifically about how something like this can work for that business owner. So I want to share with you just a case study here from one of someone in my team that actually last year did an executive bonus plan for a business owner. And the way that this happened was that he basically, was working with looking for CPAs. So he was looking to talk to CPAs about the business and, joining the business. And in conversation and in this CPA joining the business, and seeing the benefits of how this executive program works, she already had some business owners who she thought that this would be beneficial with. Another great thing to be able to do is do a home BPM, or we say home BPM, do a business BPM, right? So, if you get a CPA, you can ask a CPA to do a business BPM where they can invite their business owners and you can talk about how a strategy can be beneficial to them. So that's another way to be able to now use and open the door to this type of program. And then again, or the business that you are targeting, you can ask them, hey, do you know other business owners? Can we talk about a strategy that can help you retain your key employees? So I'm going to share with you a case study, and I redacted a lot of the information, the client's personal information in here. But this was a business owner, guys, and he had no insurance, multi-million dollar business, and brings in very good income, but he had no insurance in place. And the CPA, his CPA was the one that introduced this program as being something that she felt like would be suitable for him and his business. So he actually opened up two executive bonus programs, but this was the one he did just last year. So first of all, of course, this is a life insurance policy. So what does this provide? He has a $3.2 million benefit for him. And again, this is not his only policy. This is the second one. But in this particular one is 3.2 million, and he's paying $280,000 annual premium into his policy. So he had the money. The money was there, was just being allocated in other places and not really benefiting him in the way that, this particular plan can really benefit him. So the payer is of course his company. As you see at the bottom, the company's name, that the company pays the policy. But the owner of the policy is the owner, and then the beneficiary is, his family. Okay. So this was one that was done with Pac Life. Several of our carriers do executive bonus plans. This one was with Pac Life. So I'm just going to show you really quick here just what the illustration looks like. The illustration actually sells itself. When you go through it, the illustration with the person, it talks about the retirement challenge that people are facing. The more income you make, the less money you tend to have in retirement, especially if you're only depending on Social Security and let's say your 401k. You probably can't still live the same lifestyle that you lived when you were working. And you can see in the chart here, it talks about as annual compensation increases, the percentage of compensation in retirement decreases for most people. And so it also talks about how this works as financial protection for the owner. So supplemental retirement income. Of course, if you're a business owner as well, you are your retirement. So you could use this policy to supplement that retirement income for you as well. It also here in the illustration, it goes tells you exactly how the executive bonus program works. So, you know, if you're what is the word I'm looking for? Appointed. If you're appointed with different companies, you know, go through and run some illustrations and play around with it and see what it looks like. You know, we have the ability to be able to do that, but it tells you right here in the picture how the employer pays the executive. The executive pays the premiums to the life insurance policy. Again, they can take out distributions and then they have a death benefit um, at the end. And then why consider an executive bonus arrangement? So I think the illustration does a great job of just reiterating what you have probably already shared with the business owner, but now they're actually seeing it from the specific company. So it gives an executive a bonus report as well on there. And then this one also shows that if the client is, you know, is funding it, is paying that annual premium for, you know, he decided he wanted to pay until he was 65. He put in that premium in every year. And by the time he's 65, he has $4 million saved up in his potentially $4 million, depending on how, of course, the indexes work, but potentially $4 million saved up in his cash value accumulation account. And again, this is tax free. This is money is growing tax deferred, and he has access to this money through withdrawals and loans tax free. But one of the things I wanted to, you know, pay attention to here is he stopped funding it at 65. But by the time he's 75, look at how much his cash value has grown to. $7 million he has in his policy that he could access for retirement. Or he also has long-term care benefits on here as well. So any event that he needed long-term care, any event that, you know, something was to happen and he needed to access that money, he could access that tax free. So again, this particular one was done for the business owner. So this plan is now helping him to have enough money to be able to retire when he stop, you know, when he stops working the business. It also is another place that if he decides he wants to sell this business, there's another place where he can now put additional money into the policy and let that money continue to compound and grow for him as well. So at the end of the day, you know, you do a good job, right? Educating the business owner. You do a good job showing them what their options are. We can shop around different companies, but then what does this mean for the agent? You know, one of the great things about our business is that we get paid very well for what we do, right? So for that particular account, as a marketing director, I want to show you the income that, you know, my team member was able to bring in just from that one account. That account was done, if you saw it on the previous slides, it was done in January 2025. First, you know, commission payout was 28,000. The policy was approved in 1 month, guys. So in 1 month, this guy, you know, got his policy again. He's 54 years old and he was in good health. Thank goodness, right? Second payout was by the end of the month, $54,000, one pay cycle. And then, of course, right, he also made a bonus, you know, on that production at $10,000. So if you can see here from one account, $93,000 was made. That's more than most people make in 1 year, and that's on one account. So you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what that person can do. You never know, you know, what opportunities are out there. But one of the things we have to do is we have to open up our mouths and we have to share about these particular strategies because many business owners don't know that they exist. So as I close here, I just want you to know that there's so many resources that you can go to get information. I just put a couple of them here. Transamerica has a great field guide for business planning using life insurance. Nationwide also has some great literature out there. This is client approved material as well. So this is material that you can use with your client, and then Pack Life and several other companies as well. These are just a few that I'm showing here, but this strategy can be used with, most of the companies that we have on our platform. And so I'm going to stop sharing there. So that is, that's executive bonus plans, guys. Let's go out. Next month is, National Financial Literacy Month. It's a great time to be able to go out with our blue books, talk to business owners, share a strategy that could potentially work for them. And, guys, hey, let's go out and do it. Let's help business owners and everybody else be able to secure their future. Keep employees that are beneficial to them and help their business be able to grow as well with some of our products. So thank you so much for letting me share tonight. And I'm going to turn it back over to Mina.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you for the insightful presentation that we really truly appreciate. And yeah, it's that's good that we have a powerful platform that we able to helping people different ways, right? So executive bonus plan is not about just a benefit, right? It's about strategy, strategical tools that were able to helping the employers to keep their the key employees longer, and also helping the employees they able to strategize their financial plannings, right? So what a powerful information, right? Let's so I'm going to introduce the second trainer tonight. So he's from Canada, Toronto, and IT by professional in the business for over 10 years right now. 3 years consistent personal GX12 and 69 months for the Titan X qualifiers already and Big Kahuna qualifiers. So let's welcome the second trainer for tonight, Jefferson Nilo.
Yes. Thank you, Mina. All right, so yes, my name is Jeff, and I'm a proud world system builder. So let's get started. Time is gold. Yes. So thank you for that, Regina, for the executive bonus. It's really an eye opener to all. But here's the biggest question, though: how come? Even though, yes, we show this compensation, great, amazing platform we have with amazing executive bonuses, which we just learned, how come a lot of people still are not proceeding through? Maybe they will only last long 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and they're gone. And a lot of us, we scratch our head. So, people who are balding already, these are the people who are keep on wondering, scratching their head. How come they have newly coded campaigner right now, tomorrow they're gone? Where's the retention, right? Yeah. So that's why for my today's topic, all right? So I'll discuss to you the number one thing in here. The powerful thing to retain people, really, sometimes it's not money or compensation, but what is the reason why? And that's where my topic comes in, how to set up proper financial goals. And setting up financial goal setting, let's be smart about it. Why not, right? So, first in here is just a guideline in here. So first is, of course, when setting up financial goal setting, we need to be specific. Okay? So being specific is, where do we need to start? So, remember the PFS? It all starts from that. And remember on this section here, the goals section, we have the short, midterm, and long-term goals. So knowing exactly what they want is basically the best way for you to start building the trust and relationship to them. Very important, right? For the retention to go high. So, but let's be specific. That's why a lot of people get lost in their dreams, is because they don't know exactly what they want. Agree? Yes. And do you remember, most especially immigrants or here growing up in this amazing country, right, that we are? Isn't it we have that goals, financial goals, dreams, ambitions one time, right? Yes. The big question there too, where have they gone by? Yeah. Did you know where it went? It got buried 6 deep under the ground the moment you work for that job. Agree? Yes. Right? So that's why in here is, why not let's get you started knowing again, rekindling what is your original intention, why you came to this amazing country. Yeah. What is the biggest reason why you sacrifice a lot just to go in this amazing country, right? Yes. By exactly knowing what you want, okay? And it starts with the PFS. So first is, let's be specific here. So first things first is, let's identify, why do they work? Why do you earn hard? Why do you save? Okay, so first in here is, you save, you work hard because you want an emergency fund. Okay, so that's the first there. So that's the key thing that I need to show to them, being specific. One thing in here is, why not? They work hard as well to pay off all their debts. That's another one. And based on this PFS, another one is they keep working hard to start saving for their kids' education. Now, in here, if you see in here, alternate income in case of death or disability, it falls under emergency fund. So that's not specific. Or support aging parents, guess what? Maybe most likely it's the retirement goal for them and their parents as well. That's specific, okay? And a part of this as well. Family vacation, that's why they save up too. All right, and here, why not? I think this is the majority's dream of people is buy a new house, right? And as one of their major purchases, and of course later on maybe in life is invest in rental properties, right? Or maybe that's their business on the side. So these are the specifics. Okay, so now that we've identified the specific, right? Let's go to the next smart way to do that is, let's be realistic. Realistic meaning, what's the relevant, based on their current situation today or goal, that make a lot of sense with their current situation and resources right now. So let's identify them. Any house, dream never ends, correct? Financial goal never ends. Until one is achieved, there will come next one. So I'll ask my potential business partner, what are your top 3 financial goals, at least priorities? And here, they'll be the one who will identify. So in here, based on my potential business partner, is he wants to establish an emergency fund. Next one in here is he wants to pay off debts. That's his second important thing to him. And lastly is start saving for his kids' education. Good. So now that we've identified at least top 3, all right? And don't worry, there's another 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th coming in. But the next part in here now is, let's make it measurable. That's why a lot of people get lost on their financial goals because you're specific. They know what they want. But how to start it? When to do it? How to do it? When will it end? That's why all their dreams are just in the drawing paper. Okay? So with that is, let's put a measurement in here. And since we're talking about financial goals, why not let's make money as the unit of measurement? Agree? Yes. So first in here is like this, establish an emergency fund. As indicated already in their PFS, it's already there indicated that they need $45,000. Now, next one in here is pay off debts. Again, let's go back to their PFS, which tells a complete story. So in this section of liabilities, look at here. Their liabilities or debts in total is $34,500. So that is how we measure the progress in there, right? So let's put that in there. And of course, start saving education, all right? So how to calculate this, their future value of their money right now, including inflation and tuition hike fees. So there is a lot of educational calculators online, right? So at least we could know how much do they need to start saving right now. So in this case, $161,000. So far we're good, okay? Yes. So that's being measurable. Now, next one in here is, of course, is set a time frame. So DJ, all right, my camera. So with that is time-based. Let's put a time frame to it, all right? Set a time frame to achieve your goal in order to succeed. So in here is, for example, I'll use the calculator, right? So let's use the online calculator from WSB. Thank you, WSB staff and all WSB for making these tools. And it can be found as well in your workshop books. All right, you have the QR code in there. Guess what? And let's see here, WSB and under savings calculator. Okay. All right. So in the savings calculator, okay. So with that is. For example, here, let's do the first is establish an emergency fund, which is $45,000. All right, so $45,000 here. All right, $45,000. All right, so it says in here, how much do I need to save each month? All right, to reach my savings goal of paying debts the soonest. All right, so that's $45,000. Initial balance is 0. All right, and deposit frequency, it's monthly, so we set it to 0 to at least they would know how much, all right? how much monthly they need to, okay? And annual interest rate, let's put it at 8%. And of course, this is assumption, okay? Not that high, not that low. It's just enough. We under promise, but we over deliver it. And in duration is in 2 years for the paying debts. All right. So it says here, set a time base in here. So which is yes, it's in 2 years. All right. That's how time is based on the person that based on my potential business partner. And of course in here, so let's go back again, is so in 2 years. So I'll put in here 2 years, and look at this. Let's try to calculate and see, it would compute in there how much monthly, at least in assumption, right? Growing at assumption 8% growth annually. So they need to start saving $1,723.74 monthly to reach their goal of $45,000 in 2 years, all right? So that's why that is what we will be using in here, all right, to set the if it's achievable. Okay, make sense? So that's why sorry, with that said is, I know, because before we go there, and the next step is, I know every one of us, correct? Let's try to put emotion in our goals. That's why it's called emotional goals. I ask the client, okay, I ask my potential business partner, and this is where emotional gets powerful. Ask them, imagine one day waking up, checking out with your, there's a notification in your cell phone, in your bank account, and once you open that one, it says $45,000 already in your savings emergency fund account. And of course, if you scroll that, it has, you know what, zero balance in all your debts. And while you wake up and start eating breakfast with your kids, you scroll down again and you see that your kids' education funding is already at $161,000. How do you feel? I asked them that, and you could see like right away their faces light up, because it gives them a perception of, wow, yes, these are the things really that matters most to them, that it gives them a reason now why they need to do it, why they need to do this maybe opportunity. All right, so just like me, okay, what's my goal in here as well? Like this, all right, my emotional financial goal with the power of AI right now, okay? So yeah, I want to be fit, and while roaming at the beach, you know what? Drinking some cocktails, right? And I look at my phone with $1 million emergency fund, and I scroll down. I have a $10 million retirement income. Wow! Life is so great. What can I do about it? But to what? Just enjoy it with family and with friends at the same time. This is the WSB lifestyle, guys. Hey, yeah. So why not use that? And actually, every time I watch this, even though it's an AI, it is so powerful that it reminds me why I need to work hard, why I need to hit my GX12 and above, why I need to be big kahuna every time, because I know exactly what I want in life. Do you know yours, right? Okay. So anyhow, anyways, guys, that's my dream, okay? Okay, mind your dream too, okay? Anyhow, yes, so with that said, is it achievable though? Yeah. So as I've said earlier, using that calculator, right, is that's how I calculate it. So emergency fund, they need to save $1,700 in 2 years monthly. Paying off consumer debts, $1,300, okay, in 2 years. And for starting saving education funding is they need to save $1,200 monthly, okay. So what I do now is this, potential business partner. This is now your total new monthly savings on top of your current existing bills is you need to start saving up $4,200 a month. That is the price of your dream. Now, you see the reaction? I show them that, hey, if I ask them, can your JOB deliver that monthly? No. So they get frustrated, correct? But it's okay. It means that if you don't start building your dreams right now, and that's the price tag of your dream, financial dream, no wonder why employers will keep hiring you to help build theirs. And people who doesn't want to start building their dreams today, they end up retiring in Walmart as a greeter. Yes. Is that what your retirement income looks like? Let it generate in the AI, generate me my retirement in Walmart happily, right? And let's see. All right, so good so far? Now, this is now the next question I impose to them or ask them is this. Okay, ideal business, potential business partner, what is your ideal monthly business income to go full-time in this business? Because you know what? It's only you who knows how much you want. Tell me how much you want, and I can show you how much you can make in this amazing platform. And that's where it makes sense introducing our compensation to them because it gives them full meaning why they need to do this business as well. Isn't that's where you get them, converting them from just an ordinary person to a person that can become somebody because they know exactly what they want as well. Okay? So now, achievable, right? That's the last part. Okay, so map out action steps to make sure that your goal is attainable. So if that's what you want, so let's get started then here. So I'll show you in simple math in here. This, okay? So, so I will show you in here. So how's the formula? So after I explain them the compensation, what is a GX program, what are the mechanics and whatnot. So my goal to them is, okay, as soon as you get your license, all right, you should be already a GX MD, correct? At which here in Canada is 51%. Okay, so let's try to calculate. So of course, what only requirement in this organization is, work ethic. And work ethic means, okay, for example, with all due respect to your JOB, how many years you've been an employee to your employer? 5 years, 10 years? Look at this. You've given them 5, 10, 15 years, ample time for your employer to show you where your progress in your financial goals. Look where it got you. It's okay. That's your self-explanatory while you are showering in your cozy washroom, okay? Have that self-thought. Okay, now, my point of work ethic is, how many hours do you need to prepare to go to work? If you say 30 minutes, 1 hour, then there should be no problem at all preparing 30 minutes, an hour, doing the business. Agree? Yes. So, here's the thing. If you've given ample time, 15 years, 10, 15 years to your JOB, why not give this business 1 year of work ethic and let's see where will it get you? Fair enough? Yes. Okay? So, let's do that. So, GXMD 51%. So, that's why I need your calculator here, guys. So, of course, you will run your GXMD, all right? Your GX as well. So that's 15,000 points in a month, okay? So if you multiply that one, how much? $7,650, okay? Now, did you know, this is where PABB, right, in WFG, I call in this organization, did you know every time you hit your GXMD, you get a GX bonus? Yes. A GX bonus of 10%. Not unlike your JOB, $10 Tim Horton gift card every year, okay? But 10% of $7,650, right? So that's how much? $765. So let's add that together in a month. How much you earned? $8,415 per month. And look, potential business partner, how much is your go full time? $8,000. So where will you put that extra $415? All right? So, again, remember, let's multiply it by 12 months worth of work ethic, correct? Pardon my penmanship. I'm a doctor, money doctor, okay? If you don't understand, that's your problem. If you cannot read, by the way, okay? So let's multiply that by 12 months. How much? 100,000? 980 in a year. Is the math mathing? Yes. Right? Okay, now that we got that, okay, so now let's go. So if that's how you much earn in a year, so of course we'll only go for 1 year, right? So first in here is, let's do this, emergency fund in 2 years. So if that's for, you need to save, how much that again is 1,200, right? 4,200. No, that's for the total. But in the monthly, okay, let's go back here. So that's $1,700, right? Here? Yes. Okay? So, 1,700. So, $1,700 times 12 months? 20,400. So, that's for emergency fund, right? Yes. So, how much is that again? 1,700? Times 12. Times 12 is? 20,400. 20,400. Now, if we have here 100,000, So 100,000.
980. So
I get minus 20,000. How much is that?
80, 080, 580.
Okay, left. Okay, so at least for the first year, check. All right, let's go on the second one is, that's debts. How much again is the monthly in a year? 1, 2? Okay, so let's do that is 1, 3.
1,003.
Okay, so 1,300 times 12 months,
15,600.
15.
600.
600. Okay. 15,600. So we got here 80,000. 580 minus 15,600 is
64, 980.
980. All right. So at least that's paid on that first year. Now on the third is, what's the third? Kids education, which is how much?
1, 2.
Yes, 1, 2. So 1, 2 times 12?
14, 400.
14?
400.
400. So, if we subtract that again, 64,980 minus 14,400,
50, 580.
50,
580.
580 extra. Oh my goodness! Where will you put that extra, guys? Maybe just to pay off all the debts, maybe, so at least in that way, no more debts. Or maybe on your emergency funds, so at least peace of mind right away, no need for next year. I don't know, the world is your oyster. You control your financial future. You be the architect of your financial future. Don't let your banks, your government, or other people dictate how much, where you should live because this is how much you earn. What kind of lifestyle you'll be having because this is how much you earn. Which school your kids would go to because this is how much you earn. You are in power of how bright your financial future is, right? And by the way, there's more. We're only talking here about your first year of income. How about on the second year? That's already $100,000 again. How about on your third year, fourth year, etc.? Wow. Next, by the way, that $100,000, it's your personal pen. How about your effort building people, building branches, and getting, spread from them? How about your bonuses, besides that monthly, quarterly, yearly, executive bonuses? We're not even talking about your assets under management. We're not even talking about your generation overrides. We're not even talking about your travel incentive trips. Oh my gosh, I will run out of voice of many, many, many more. So anyways, guys, right? Let's go fight for your dream and somebody else's dream, because it doesn't need to change for you to change the whole world. It takes only one person to change your dream. So thank you, everyone. See you at the top. Keep dreaming.
Remember you got it bad. Ain't no other that could sweep you up like a rubber. Straight up, I gotcha. Making you fall like that. Break it down. Ooh, when I look in the mirror, I'm at your heart into two. I got the superstar girl, so ooh.
We are new.